Men, you go find them, you throw your arms around them, you give them a big kiss on the mouth.
This is PTR Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. There we go. And I've already got the toy working for Mike. We're on it tonight. We are on it. The only thing we don't have working as normal is the phone.
It gives me purpose to have the toy working.
So all right. So, a lot of topics for tonight. As we almost had a totally different subject for tonight's show, but I named it. But for the hosts, I named it the Ketchup Crisis and Gaming Gossip. So,
okay,
which relates to at least one topic in our white list. You know.
Oh, and not the OnlyFans portion.
OnlyFans? No, I don't think the OnlyFans. Did I have an OnlyFans? Oh, no.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah, I do have an OnlyFans. Well, this will be 2 weeks in a row. We've talked about 2 shows in a row. We talked about OnlyFans. If we get to that article.
Oh, we will.
Okay.
We will.
Because there's
no
a follow up.
But to.
There's a follow up on that, by the way. I don't know if you know the follow up.
I think I do know the follow up.
Okay. So,
and I think the only way to describe the update is that's hot.
So, so yeah.
Okay,
welcome. If you're new to the show, we talk about whatever comes to mind. We have a list of topics that we call the white sheet, but we rarely get to everything on it. We just take a turn and we see where the road leads us. And then when we come to a 4-way stop, we go, hey, let's go this direction. And we often get derailed and sidetracked. So that's what you're in for tonight. If you like just random stream of consciousness radio, that's what we're here for. But random stream of consciousness radio was too long of a website address. So instead, you got PTR radio. So,
Random stream of consciousness. I think Elon Musk actually owns that anyways.
Yeah, it's his next venture, along with flamethrowers, satellites. Did you hear that one of his satellites came within 60 meters of another one? Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
And it was a British firm's private satellites that he almost crashed into. You know. We're encircling the Earth in an impenetrable shield of satellites. Not really. But.
This was the plot line to the original cut of Highlander 2. Let's just be clear about this, okay? Shield Corporation going to engulf the Earth with the shield. And the real-life version is Starlink.
Yeah. I actually was on a conference call today with somebody who had to switch over to his Starlink backup internet.
Oh, really?
Primary went out. Yeah, he's using it he's a beta tester and he's using it as his backup internet. So, but it worked. So
if you're a beta tester, aren't you supposed to use it as your primary?
I think so, but whatevs. Before we get to that tonight, I'd like to just bring a bit of news. So tonight, my wife is going to be sleeping with Darth Vader for the first time, which will be interesting. And it's not some weird 3-way that's going to happen, but actually, finally, after a year, I got the results back from my sleep study a week or so ago, and my doctor said, "How are you still alive? Should have probably died in your sleep a while ago. Sorry it took us this long to get you your results." So I got a BiPAP machine. Not even a CPAP. Got a BiPAP machine.
Whoa.
So, yeah. And on this machine, I'm pretty much at the top of the machine. So
For those of us who are uneducated in such things, what's the difference?
So a CPAP machine is constant pressure that forces into your mouth, right? A BiPAP machine is two different pressures, one for when you're breathing in and a lower one for when you're breathing out. So it's just a different type of machine, but because of the difficulty that they had in regulating my breathing during the nighttime, the BiPAP was determined to be the better one, but it's typically for a more aggressive case. Yeah, they when they do the study, they see how many times your breathing is interrupted within an hour. Mine was 60, which the normal is like 6. So, because everybody gets interrupted a little bit. In fact, they even said that my my oxygen levels got down to below 60% when I was sleeping. So, it's not a game of Limbo that you want to play. Ideally,
no.
Of how low can
absolutely
you go?
not.
So, so we'll I got fitted for my little mask today, and got all the information, and even asked about William Shatner's hawked product.
I
was
was
so clean.
Gonna bring that up.
Yep. So, but they said, well, let's see how it goes first. I do it for a couple months and just do the whole soap and water thingy of the manual way of cleaning it, and let's see how it goes. Don't rush out and buy a $300 machine to clean your $1,000 machine.
No, don't buy one of those ever. They're terrible devices. Most of them just flooded with ozone.
Ozone, which I remember back in the 80s, we were saying that the ozone layer was being depleted. Now we can just build a machine that makes ozone? So we shouldn't have a problem.
You can make a machine that makes ozone. The problem is then shipping the ozone back up to the top layer of the atmosphere.
Well,
okay, so why can't Elon Musk just strap a bunch of these ozone generators to every satellite he puts up? I'm sure there's a warehouse.
Hey,
from,
Red Bull.
What's it called?
Red Bull sent a guy in a pod up in balloons.
No, the Sharper Image probably has a warehouse full of ionic breezes that they stopped selling because people realize too much ozone in your air when you're breathing is bad. Okay,
yeah, we'll get rid of the negative ions and we'll add the positive ozone.
Strap them to the satellites, set them up, and then Elon Musk can just be like, "Yes, that's right.
I saved everything, and I
save
named
the
my
world.
baby
Of
X12."
course.
My
wife has alien scars as a tattoo on her back, which is awesome.
Yep.
But it's unbreakable.
And she can't see her reflection in mirrors. I don't know. That chick is too white. I mean, we're white, but she is too white. But that's just what I was sitting there. I basically got the same mask that they put on me when I was in the trial, because you're sitting there and there's like a dozen different masks. And she's like, well, which mask do you want? I don't know. I don't have a clue which type. I'm like, listen, I sleep on my stomach with my head 90 degrees to the side. I don't believe I'm much of a mouth breather. But sometimes it happens. And then I get all phlegmy in the back. I said, so, and she goes, well, this is the one they gave it to you on that you used when you were doing the test. I'm like, okay, give me that one, because that's the only one that I've had any experience with. So I'll take that one.
It's like, which mask do you want? Do you have one with Bluetooth?
Yeah. Bluetooth would be good.
How the fuck do I know?
I don't know. But I did learn something interesting. Because of the COVID, they're not taking mask returns. But yet you have a trial period with the mask. So within the first 2 weeks, I can go back and I can say, I don't like this mask. And they let you keep it and get another one for free. So you could have two different styles of mask.
Shaggy is going to build up a collection.
No, you can only do that once. See, Collins.
I have bought many different masks. I do have a collection of them.
Collins got the little face sucker one, right? It looks like an alien.
Well, mine looks like this.
Okay, I think that's pretty similar to mine.
So, does your hose go on the back of your head?
No, it comes out the top.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I'm like Cindy Lou Who,
Okay.
Comes right out the top.
So here's the tip I'll give you. You can get this from Amazon. This thing of cleaning wipes. They're like made of cotton.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take those and you just wipe the mask out.
Yeah.
Okay. But the actual part that goes on your face, you can buy new ones from Amazon for like $12.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes.
That's the cleaning thing. You don't bother with the stupid machines to clean things. It's wipe it with the wipes until it's too old, and then throw it away and buy a new one from Amazon for $12, and you're good.
See, that's what people tune in for. CPAP news. So if you're, this is thrilling. But I told somebody I was getting it today, and they're like, "You're gonna sleep the best you've ever slept in your whole life." He goes, "That first night is magical." And the lady
I don't know what the
it was kind of funny because she tells me, she goes, "You may not need as much sleep. You may just have better sleep now. You may be able," she goes, "if you get 9 hours," which I was about ready to laugh at. 9 hours of sleep. She goes, "You may only need 7. I was still going to laugh at 7. Like 7. Wow, 7 hours of sleep. Who gets 7 hours of sleep? Although I will admit, since working from home, it does give me an extra half hour of sleep, which is really nice.
This is where, like, Kim and I have this compare. Like, she'll ask, how'd you sleep? We go right to Fitbit.
I get asked that every morning. How'd I sleep? And I said, I don't know. Did I hit you or did I yell during the night? Because if the answer to both those questions is no, then I did okay.
Yeah, my average.
And I don't mean that "did I hit you" question as in like beat my wife consciously. It's just sometimes you flail,
I put entirely too much weight on the sleep score from Fitbit.
Oh, I have a sleep score for my bed. My sleep number, I have a sleep IQ. So it tells me.
We did not get the sleep number bed. We got another mattress from Bob's.
A Bob. So you get a Bob number. Do you get a Bob number?
Sure. It's called 1.
1. So you get a score of 1. You probably get a better, bank account number because the sleep number, expensive.
Well, this wasn't exactly, we didn't go for like the cheap bed because, look, our last the original Bobopedic that we had was going on 12 years old. We finally decided, yep, gotta go.
Yeah.
So, no sleep number in this house.
So my, let me see. I wanted to switch to this different sleeper, but so my sleep number right now, my wellness says 74. I'm a 74 out of 100, which is not bad. I'm trending up. I had a 68 in January. I had a 71 in February. So I'm doing better.
Which tells you how useful that number is when you find out from the doctor. Your actual sleep number is, why are you not dead yet?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right, let's. I gotta ask the question: are you going to the bar tonight?
No, I'm not going to the bar tonight.
You're not going to the bar. Okay,
the problem
I'm just
is
going to start drinking.
The problem is I went to the bar last night. So
okay.
So the problem is I went to the bar and had like 4 hard ciders last night, which is the equivalent of drinking a 6-pack on a school night, mind you, or on a work night. So it was a bit much. But Mike, we should probably talk about the so that we don't forget it. We should probably talk about the OnlyFans thing so that we don't forget about it.
We were not going to forget about this. Trust me.
Okay.
We were not going to forget about this.
So we're talking about the LTT one, right?
The what?
The LTT one, right? The Linus one.
LTT? No.
No. Which one were we going to talk about then?
We're going to talk about Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Oh, okay. I was going to talk about LTT first.
I didn't even watch that video because I can't stand Linus.
Okay, well, but here's the interesting thing. So, the April Fool's Day happened, right? Okay, so Linus Tech Tips always does some type of weird April Fool's Day video. This year they did a hey, we're expanding our base. And we know you've wanted a sexier, edgier Linus Tech Tips. So now we are, going to expand, and we're going on OnlyFans.
Great.
So here, let me try and bring it up. And we won't show the video, but I'll play a little bit of the audio because I think it's hilarious.
You want more. A lot more. And I'm going to give it to you after this message from our sponsor. The fact that you're still watching this right now tells me two very important things about you. One, you don't mind a little tease. And two, you're happy putting up with shameless money grabs. You are exactly the kind of person that I'd like to personally invite to witness a stiff new direction for our company. That's right, we're coming to OnlyFans.
So they did this whole thing where they were doing OnlyFans. They've got they got like ASMR reviews. They've got coverless PCs. They did all the little puns, right? And they actually did start an OnlyFans page. And they had a ton of people sign up for their OnlyFans page. So many, and they actually had people do tips to do specific requests.
Oh, God.
They had so many people sign up and do requests that Linus was a top 1% OnlyFans creator in a day.
Oh, dear Lord.
So now, that was the funny thing, is they were really just doing it as a joke, but yet they made like 30 grand in one day.
30 grand ain't nothing.
It's nothing when you weren't planning on making a dime. You mean, So now, Mike, what you were getting to, what you were talking about is Catch Me Outside Girl. Okay, so
Bad Baby, a.k.a. Danielle Brigioli, a.k.a. the Dr. Phil Brat.
Yes.
So she, the day after her 18th birthday.
Now, this should bring back memories of the Olsen twins and the website that had a countdown to when they turned 18.
I was going to say, I was an unwilling participant in a bit way back in the day when I was this was around 2004 when I was just joining the NHB family.
Mm-hmm.
And the gag was that I couldn't wait for the Olsen twins to be legal.
Right. Gag being the operative word.
In retrospect, that's one of those things that you look back on and realize, yeah, this is going to prevent me from ever being elected to office.
Mm-hmm.
But it also points out a very big reason why I wound up leaving that network.
Yeah.
Anyway, this here, so she joined or set up her OnlyFans account literally days after her 18th birthday.
Oh, day
basically,
of, I think.
She broke the record for.
She racked up more than $1 million in 6 hours.
Yeah. So
which is
First of
just
all,
ridiculous. She $757,000 from subscriptions alone. Another $267,000 from DM payments and $5,000 in tips. Now, DM payments and tips, for those of you that aren't familiar with the platform, which I wasn't until Linus broke down what exactly the platform is, because I don't do OnlyFans. I don't. Colin, do you subscribe to any OnlyFans?
No.
People, Mike, do you?
no, and
Okay.
I have to ask. I got to ask the honest question.
Yeah.
Is OnlyFans is it literally just like an adult site, or is there
It's-
like a subscription like Twitch type stuff on there too?
The idea is that it's kind of like Patreon, but it has
Okay.
kind of like, so it's not just porn, but from what I can tell,
That's
it is primarily that.
Yeah.
It's not just that though. I mean, I guess they have some legitimate people on there, but they're so drowned out by everything else. So a subscription is just access to the feed. All right.
okay.
So messages are, you pay to send that person a direct message. All right.
Okay.
And then a tip is, hey, I'm going to give you some money in the hopes that you'll do what I ask you to do. So like Linus,
Okay.
for example, said he got a $25 tip for that somebody wanted a picture of his feet, which are socks and sandals. Okay. So one of his assistants who was managing the account came in, took a picture of his feet in socks and sandals, because that's what he wears anyway, and left. Right? That was all it was, and they got $25, and they were going to get that $25 regardless of whether they actually fulfilled the request or not. That's the crazy
Okay.
thing. So you're given this money regardless of what you do, if you do what you do. From what I understand, I could be wrong, but I think that's the way that it works. The idea is it's creating a more, because it's only fans, it's creating a more intimate, literally, environment for creators or celebrities to interact with their fans, and you have a higher likelihood of them reading your message than if you were to just send them, say, fan mail, and you're one of 5 million, or something like that. You know what I mean? So the idea is that, hey, I'm paying to have access to you, and then I'm paying above that to send this to you. You'll probably send something back, because that's going to give you more, then I'll do more money. And then beyond that, you can, the creators then, they put out content to that stream that you have subscribed to, but then they'll put out special pay-per-view stuff too. So like, they may put out a video that's only allowed on their feed, but you have to pay another $25 to unlock it.
Okay.
I'm like, this is crazy.
So apparently the way this happened was on her Instagram page. The day she turned 18, people were commenting, asking when she was going to join OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And she had so many people bugging her about it. That's when she said, it was about a week later, that she said, all right, we're here. We're breaking all the rules. So there were
you're
people
right.
saying that they were waiting for this day, similar. And that's why I said I wanted to make it very clear about this whole Olsen twins thing from the NAB days.
Yeah.
That was...
And Bergoli turned 18 on March 26th, just 1 week before launching her account. So you're right. It was about a week.
Yeah.
The previous holder of the record was former Disney star Bella Thorne, who earned more than $1 million in her first 24 hours. She was met with a swift backlash from sex workers who rely on OnlyFans as their main source of income. Thorne's success led to the site reduce the maximum limit creators could charge for exclusive content. Thorne has since apologized to the community, but remains on the platform alongside other celebrities like Cardi B, Jordan Woods, Tana Minogue, I guess.
Tana Mongeau.
Okay, and Bergoli. Her rush to get on the platform and the comments encouraging her to do so have been a major source of backlash. Saw your 6 million comments and now I'm answering your call. We breaking all the rules, she wrote on an Instagram post, suggesting there were millions of comments from interested parties. So essentially what that says is there were millions of perverts who wanted to see her naked or mostly naked the moment that they could legally.
Yep. Exactly. And this is where it really, it gets to be disturbing at that point. But then you think about the flip side, and we've said this before, but Dr. Phil he's ready to just like end himself over this. This is his creation gone rogue, is what it is. Basically.
He made this monster, and because without him, she would just be another trailer park, wannabe.
Mm-hmm.
She would have absolutely no platform, no outlet, but he took over Jerry Springer because Jerry was gone. One person says the amount of dudes that absolutely ran to see her the second she turned 18, ridiculous. People were dead ass saying that I've been waiting for this when she launched her OnlyFans, and if that doesn't scream Predator, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's got a creepy vibe to it for certain. I mean, I'd love to see the demographics of her subscribers. I absolutely would love to see the age breakdown. I mean, wouldn't you?
I'm afraid. I'm literally afraid.
I think it would be interesting.
I would like to see a map.
Oh, a heat map.
A heat map of it, and compare that to Tornado Alley. Because I have a feeling a lot of these people are just...
Yeah, can we get a cross-section of trailer parks and subscribers, please? That would.
Have you heard? You heard her music?
No, I don't.
This is music to kill yourself by. Like,
how the hell you get
still
17 million subscribers for her?
Well, okay. We can also blame TMZ about this. Okay.
What'd you say, Colin?
I said all the music right now is terrible.
Oh, it is.
Hey, Bella, it's just nobody can sing, but they still, they don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, listen, not every recording artist can be Fish.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Lightning only strikes once.
I love a 13-hour song. It's really my jam.
Alice's Restaurant will never be topped. Okay.
If only every band was a Grateful Dead cover band.
Not even by these hoes, Heaux, hoes.
So,
she really is. She is like, I never thought I'd say this, but she is really the white trash anorexic version of Honey Boo Boo when you think about it.
Yeah.
Saying anything is a white trash version of Honey Boo Boo, that I never thought those words would come out of my mouth, but there they are.
Well, and she's going to. She is burning very bright right now, and that cannot last very long. She is. I'm really surprised she lasted this long.
One would say she steered herself to the right career path for longevity right now, don't you think?
I don't know about longevity. Most porn actresses are done by about 25.
No, most porn actresses are done by 25, and then they're working the lunchtime shift at the local go-go bars. Okay?
Yeah, but they're not.
But the career is still going.
Well, it's going. It's just not going real well.
Eventually, she could bartend. She could be like, a Wild and Out girl. She could be one of the Harley girls at Sturgis.
So you're saying she has fluffer in her future? So
I am not saying anything of that sort. I'm just saying there are more possible branches in the career path on that fork.
At least she's choosing a career path that doesn't require education. So, you know,
help me God, if I hear that she's producing music, I'm gonna. That's it. End it now. At all your satellites, just come. End it.
One after another, right into the house. Just make sure it's a good job, thorough job. All right,
dear God, I will go out there with the lightning rod in the rainstorm. Just don't. You get one shot.
Speaking of ending it, CBS has canceled MacGyver after 5 seasons. It doesn't really.
It's been circling the drain.
It doesn't really affect me. I watched season 1 just because I wanted to give it a chance, but I just couldn't get into it. Couldn't get into it. You know, it wasn't quite the same. But you know.
Yeah. Ever since Jack left,
mm-hmm.
and then they changed creators a couple of times, and just I don't know. Too many shows trying to throw in plot lines that are continuing through multiple episodes. They're not very good plot lines.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes I just want a real procedural MacGyver spy kind of show, and I don't want to have to keep up with whatever stupid plot line they came up with.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like I also on CBS lately. It's like every single one of their characters is under suspicion of doing something wrong, and so they're all like suspended. Gibbs is now basically off the team for NCIS. SEAL team, that was just finished, but they had a court case there because the main guy there shot somebody, and they decided just every single one of the CBS shows like simultaneously was doing this to their the other NCIS, Los Angeles did that. It's just like CBS, why is every one of your shows using the same plot at the moment?
See, that's when I got tired of House, right? Like House was a good show. That you were good enough with just a tortured doctor who was, a cranky ass doctor who was really good at figuring stuff out. I didn't need him to get pulled into jail or court or this or that or the other, or necessarily have a really bad, addiction problem. I didn't need that. So that's when I just lost it.
Well, my issue with House was I got tired of everything having to be a aha moment.
Yeah.
It got very, very
formulaic.
Is that the
yep.
word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it so much when he went to jail because it actually was a little refreshing. I didn't mind it so much when they got new team members. Like I thought that season was great when he was auditioning and had like 30 people trying out for 2 positions. I thought that was great. That season was great. But no, I agree. It got very formulaic. The Walking Dead has got like that. A lot of people were complaining about this season of The Walking Dead, and I don't think you guys watch it, but I kind of had low expectations because I knew they were under COVID restrictions when they shot the second half of this season. So I knew we were going to get a lot of like origin stories and backstories and what have you, and I was okay with it because I expected it. Doctor Who, I have bailed. I have officially bailed on Doctor Who. I no longer record it, and it's not. I don't want anybody to be under the assumption it's because they made Doctor Who female.
No,
it's
I
not.
could care less.
It's the interaction between her and the companions. First of all, there were too many, and I don't like any of them.
Well,
so.
And see, I don't even care about that. That doesn't bother me nearly as much as the fact that they are trying to bring in social relevance in every single damn episode.
Yeah, but every show is doing that now.
I know, and I don't want it. TV's an escape. I don't want the problems of today thrown in my face. That's what was so nice about Star Trek. They had those problems solved.
But even Star Trek Discovery was doing that.
Well, that's why I didn't watch it. I watched the Orville. Screw that.
Star Trek Discovery. Every so often, I'll be like, maybe I'll try watching that, and then I hear that they now have this, this space, the size of the universe inside the ship that the turbo lifts go through, and every couple episodes they decide to have a big fight sequence going on in these turbo lifts. I'm like, what are you doing? Why is this no longer Star Trek? This makes Star Wars look realistic at this point.
Supposedly, from what I read, season 3 might be the last because people are complaining about it and it's not doing as well as they thought. What was the other one that supposedly the Orville? This might be the last season, despite the move to Hulu.
Yeah. Well, but that's
Seth MacFarlane wants out.
Yeah, that's why he wants out, so that he can pursue other projects because he wants to go into dramatic roles instead of sticking to the funny. He wants
because that worked for Bill Murray that early in his career. Later on it worked for Bill Murray. But hello, Razor's Edge. Does any really?
I mean, Seth, you already are doing everything else. All right. You already are producing other things. You already have, like Frank Sinatra records coming out. You've already got other symphonic stuff that you organize too. Isn't that enough? When is enough, Seth? When is enough?
Well, the thing that upsets me the most about that, though, is that if he wanted out to start doing other things, why did he even bother moving to Hulu? Why didn't he just say, we'll do one more season on Fox and just let everybody see it?
Well,
that's
think
where I'm...
Fox didn't want it. That it went to Hulu because it wasn't going to be on Fox. My guess is it's taken so long to do it that he's just like, I think he's a little bit over it. It's just taking too long.
Well, no, he actually said
perhaps
in an interview that he wanted out. He wants to replace his character with somebody else. But if that happens, I'm sorry, the show's over. They'll be lucky if it lasts.
What I'm saying is the fact that it's taken so long has been pushing in that way, I think, as well. Yeah. If they'd done it on schedule, then maybe it wouldn't have been such a thing for him.
Yeah. But anyway, speaking about things, so
that's an awesome segue.
I know. Speaking about things,
everything's a thing.
Everything's. Hey,
before we segue off something else, I just wanted to say real quick, the show that does continue to be excellent and has never failed me so far is 911 and 911 Lone Star.
Oh, I thought maybe you were going to say I thought you were going to say Little Women of Atlanta.
I thought you were not a fan of Lone Star.
Oh no, I like Lone Star.
Okay, all right,
both of them.
Yes, those two. Now they are starting to get a little. I don't want to say that they're starting to follow a formula too. I get it. Like, how many disasters are they really going to have? Like, they're getting a little bit far-fetched with some of them.
Yeah,
I guess that's cool, but
yeah,
I think what reason that those shows are so great is because they will have some ongoing storylines, sure, and they sprinkle that in, but they don't let it bog down the usual pattern of we're going to have several different things going on in every single episode, and we'll get in and out, and that person will be saved, whatever, and you still have the core of the show continuously going. And sure, you can have some storylines going on at the same time, but that doesn't keep the show itself from continuing to be the show itself.
Okay.
So, speaking of the show continuing to be itself, we continue to evolve our show. Okay, we continue to try new things. And so I had talked about, I think on the last show, that I was trying to maybe get into gaming a little bit. But that I'm not a natural gamer, and that my game tastes tend to go a little bit more old school or simple, we'll say. Okay, so I had actually asked. So I really like left to right scrollers. I really like racing games because if I go into a 3D world, I often will get lost. Okay, I did. The last 3D world I really played in was Mario 64, and I did not enjoy myself. So something. I'm sure Colin loves like CS:GO and all those other ones that are out there, but not my cup of tea, right? But I have been.
I like story.
So I have been, slowly amassing a few games here or there, and there happened to be one that I thought, well, what would it be cool? We already stream on Twitch, right? And that is actually a gaming platform, right? That most people that stream there actually do some type of game. And I thought, well, might it be neat if we all did find a game, all right, that we could do together, right? That we could cooperatively play, and we could stream that play, right? Because that's what the cool kids do, right? I mean, the Twitch streamers, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, one, it'd be cool because then I'd have someone to play against or play with or whatever, the thing is. And then it would also give our viewers the opportunity to see us do something else a little bit different than just our normal show. So then I kind of got to looking around on here, and I thought, ooh, racing games. Hey, there's NASCAR. Mike likes NASCAR. Maybe Mike would like a NASCAR game. So I suggested, and Mike said, "You fool! I just sold my stuff."
I lost my shit because I had a steering wheel and pedals that I had used for ages when I used to play racing games on my computer, and I literally sold it like 2 months ago.
So
That is just sitting here. I was like, okay, gotta go. That being said, I did look on Amazon, and there are like a bunch of wheels that are, possibly
better.
reasonable. Not better, because I'm not spending $300-$400 on a wheel.
Well,
Look,
I figured Kim would let you
But-
get a full racing simulator and put it out there right outside your door. I've seen your
Yeah,
basement.
okay.
There's room for it right next to that weight
there
bench.
is room for it. There is room for it,
Yeah.
but it's not going to happen. One, because that means that I would want to be driving all the time. Two, that means I would start doing iRacing, which is like the official online racing league. Like NASCAR teams actually sign drivers to contracts
Oh,
to do
wouldn't that be
iRacing
cool?
for them.
Yeah, you could take part in an eNASCAR Heat Pro League.
That is not going to happen. I don't have the time for that I'm going to be like in the Silver Sneakers League eventually.
Oh,
That
we
will
could
be my league.
Could we start a league that was like, the Silver Sneakers League? Like the Middle-Aged Men League?
Here's the other problem. You get a bunch of newbies in a lot of these things online that they just want to crash people.
Yeah.
So I would not want to do if it was something that we could control and it's just by our
Invite
PTR
only.
league by invite only. I would be okay with doing that like once a month or something.
Yep.
Figure that out, but
Yeah, so I
I-
found so what I found was so there's NASCAR Heat 5, which is the latest edition of the NASCAR one, which looks actually really cool as far as graphics wise, right? Which we'd have to put Colin on the thing to see if we can control, because Colin's more gamery than I am for sure. He could probably do the research and see what this means as far as us being able to control who can play. All
Yeah.
right.
So, well, my big thing with this also is does this allow for you to make your own skins for your cars?
I believe it does.
'Cause if we're racing in a private online cooperative game, I want to be able to have my own car. I don't want to be driving somebody else's car.
It says full car setup options allows you to refine the car to suit the circuit and your racing style.
That's adjustments like
Yeah,
wedge,
that's like all that kind of stuff.
wedge, tire pressures,
Yeah. Then there's
brake bias.
then if we want to go older school. All right, and this was a game that just went on sale. It was on sale today. It's on sale still today, which I thought was really kind of It's an interesting game, so that's why I bought it, because I'm like, oh, this reminds me of something I would like. Let me see if I can pull up because right now it's only got the video showing. So this is a one called Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. So this is if you ever played one of the original, like Commander Keen's or the original Duke Nukem. So this is a left to right scroller essentially, but you can play together online. You can actually have up to 4 people playing this. So it's kind of like Double Dragon? Remember that old arcade game? So kind of the same way, except for you are mafia men stuck in a city overrun by zombies.
Okay, that's interesting. That might be a little more up our speed, because then it's just like a PlayStation type controller you could use, or you could still just use your keyboard. I mean.
And the benefit is, at least right now, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, and the sequel is $3, which is one hell of a. I look at value, right?
True.
$3 for 2 games sounds okay to me, but
you're gonna make me log in my Steam account to see what the.
But I don't know. So what, Colin? What do you think of the Italian mafia zombie game?
I don't know about that. That's not what I've seen before.
I just thought it looked.
I usually don't go to fanatical. I usually keep the humble bundle.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was just on Ben's Bargains the other day, so that's why
yes.
I picked something up, and then it's like, oh, hey, we're going to tell you everything. So we're going to keep telling you every day. So like I said, I thought it was just interesting. So
yeah.
And the Guns, Gore, and Cannoli, it's a 5-year-old game, but still it's looked like it was still fun.
They have an online version of Leisure Suit Larry.
Not that you can play together, but yes, they actually have a bundle with the first 7 different Leisure Suit Larry games that you can get for like $6. Yes, partner up to 4 friends and unravel the mystery together. Oh, it says a local co-op for up to 4 players. I wonder if you can.
That's not good.
That's not good because that's not over the web.
All right, so we'll have to figure out. We'll figure out something. Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. I think honestly, I think a racing game might be a little ambitious. Is that a good way to put it? Yeah, like maybe. And if we were going to do something, maybe, I don't know, like what's the Rocket League? Is that the one?
Rocket League's with the football, but and I have that one. I think that might be past our might be past our proficiency. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay, then that might not be the game.
Something more like Mario Kart type thing. That's what we used to do a lot.
I was looking for a racing game like Mario Kart, that did co-op. And so, yeah, if we can find something like that. But I guess my question is to you guys, the listeners out there, would you like to see PTR Radio do a game night, where we, if we can have a private game where us three, and if you guys are interested in it, you can join in and you can race the hosts, or at least you can view us racing. Would people be interested in that? So since we are on Twitch and that is a gaming platform, I thought maybe it might be something interesting that we can do. So, but so that's what I've been doing with some of my time, is just looking for possibilities of ways to do different things with the show.
I have been catching up on everything on Disney Plus because I did finally cave. Did I mention that last show that I finally caved?
I don't think so.
Yes.
No, I think you said
finally
it's
caved
some.
I said I was gonna at some point, and I saw that the price was gonna go up at the end of the end of March, I think. It was going up like $10 a year for the annual. So it wound up with if I paid annual, and I got $17 cash back through Rakuten, so it wound up being like $40 for the year.
Yeah.
I said, all right, I'm gonna pass this up. I've been streaming way too much stuff. Oh God! So had 2 seasons of The Mandalorian under my belt. And it kind of got slow for a while. I wanted to punch Baby Yoda a couple of times, but then it finally, okay. WandaVision, finished that one. Was actually a little let down by it.
Really?
But
I haven't watched that yet. But now I'm
I
really
started
interested
watching
in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, whatever they call it.
Started watching that, and that one just took an interesting turn. It was kind of pissing me off in the beginning too, but the end of the last episode, without spoiling it, took an interesting turn. And it was like, ooh,
yeah,
they're going there. Okay,
yep,
interesting.
Meanwhile, Colin's
And I
wearing
had
a
Godzilla
Mandalorian T-shirt.
I had
Yes, man.
Godzilla vs Kong. I had to watch that.
Oh, I need
And
to
I
watch
got
that
Mortal
too.
Kombat coming.
Yep, Mortal
God,
Kombat's coming.
Way too much.
Yep.
And then I had these 2 stupid freaking horror movies. God. Can't wait to talk about these 2, because we got a lot to say about these 2. No, not really.
I got a lot to say about one of them for sure. The other one, not so much, but one of them, a lot to say. So one other topic here that we can talk about. UPS drivers can now display their tattoos in another major shakeup to the company's historically strict appearance policy. Question: did anybody know that UPS had a historically strict appearance policy? Because I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, one thing
I
that
know
you
that
would
now.
one thing that you would think, the guy that just walks from his truck to your door and drops off a package and then goes back into his truck, you wouldn't think it would matter necessarily if he has a tattoo or long hair or a beard. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because now that you mention it, I've never seen a UPS man with a beard.
Yep.
Never saw one with long hair. And I never actually noticed tattoos. I've noticed 1 or 2 wearing like long sleeves with their cargo shorts and wondering what the hell's going on with that.
But
now I know.
Would it matter? As long as he didn't drop kick the package onto the porch, would it matter in his job duties if he had a beard or a tattoo on his arm?
I don't know.
No, I just want you to gently place the package on my porch and not pull a DHL. All right? If the difference is DHL routinely damages packages. So, as long as you are careful with my package. You deliver it when it's supposed to be delivered to the right place, mind you, not to a block down the road at 4300 that routinely we get their packages, they get ours, and then we have to swap. As long as you deliver it to the right place at the right time, I don't really care what you look like. This is one industry where appearances don't matter.
Correct.
I
agree.
It's like the mailman, right? The USPS. I don't really care. You want to talk about one where I don't care if you don't dress the gender of your assignment at birth? I don't care. All right? I don't care if you're a juggalo and you dress in full face paint carrying a Fago. Deliver my packages on time, and I'll be happy. All right?
Juggalo.
Woot woot. Okay, just bring me my package. All right? I don't care. But yeah,
I guess if you're a business though, if you're like a high class law firm, and you have someone come into your front desk with some important legal documents, so maybe you'd care a little more.
So for the 5 minutes, Mystic Martha is there dropping off a package. It's really going to matter to the guy that's sitting in the lobby because his wife left him. His life is a shambles anyway, okay? She done, went off with his best friend, took the kids with her in the middle of the night. All right? He does not care about baby Poontang.
No. And listen, those legal documents like that are usually given by courier anyway, because you got to be, or a process server, because you got to be served the papers, don't you? So,
in between law
Shaggy,
offices, maybe not.
Right. You are absolutely right, though. As long as the packages don't get damaged. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me that there's a dress code for Uber and Lyft drivers. I mean, look, get me where I got to go and just don't smell. That's all I ask.
I'd wear a mask would be nice. Maybe have a bottle of water in the back for me. A bonus. All right? Don't play crappy music. All right, these are all niceties. It's not a requirement for me to ride in your vehicle. Just get me to where I want to go as quickly as possible. Don't kill me. Don't smoke in the car. All right, that's the thing. All right, I don't want to smell the driver's smoke. That should be a policy. That should be the policy.
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
I don't want to see your roach clippings in the back seat, right? Because I saw that once. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see bits of bud in the back seat.
Okay, wasn't sure which roach we were talking about because both are applicable here.
In that car, I probably saw both. I just did. After I saw the first one, I wasn't looking for any more. So. They happen to be in Sound Clown Posse fans as well. So, whatever. Woot woot. Orange Fago for the win. But, yeah, UPS.
You know way too much about ICP, man.
So, UPS. Mike, they're not really there, man. You're tripping. All right.
Oh, no, I'm hearing something.
So UPS will allow workers to display their tattoos in a shake-up to its strict appearance policy. Tattoos can now be displayed as long as they're not offensive or on the head, face, neck, or hands. Which face I get, right? I don't want the big spiderweb face guy necessarily. I could see that in a business. You don't want that guy coming in. All right.
Ironically, that was UPS.
Quick, run outside and go woot woot. UPS announced last year that male employees can now have long hair and beards. Well, good. They say and beards. They didn't mention anything about mustaches. Were mustaches okay before?
Probably.
So you could have a porn stash, but you couldn't have a beard. Boy, I don't like that look. A mustache without a beard, I don't like that look. It hasn't been good in a long time. I don't think. So, yeah, they have 500,000 employees worldwide, has informed staff that they may now display body art and tattoos provided they don't contain offensive words or images. So, yeah, I mean, good for them. Good for them. You know, good to see. They didn't need a union to make that decision. UPS just did it.
Yeah, but aren't they Teamsters?
I don't think so. Is the UPS
No.
a union shop?
I know the guys that load the trucks are.
Yep, they're International Brotherhood of Teamsters. It's the package division. UPS is the single largest employer in the Teamsters Union. There you go.
There you go.
Well, it sure in the heck ain't Amazon. So
No, I can't believe Amazon, like, the one place actually said, nope, we don't want the union here.
yeah,
Really?
it's crazy.
Now, I have to admit, I am generally speaking not a fan of unions because I feel they have overstepped their bounds. I believe unions originally were to enforce or to advocate for safe and fair workplaces.
That was their that is supposed to be their guiding principle. Yes.
And I feel that now it is more of a collective bargaining agency.
That
Which
still is a
goes
term used to
above and
describe
beyond.
union. That is still a widely used term to describe union is collective bargaining.
Yes.
In fact, our
But-
contracts are termed as collective bargaining agreements.
I also feel that when you have a union that encompasses both truck drivers, package sorters, and cashiers, doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Oh, it's much bigger than that. I work at the Department of Transportation, and most of their employees, including programmers, are Teamsters.
Yeah,
Okay.
so in Collins' division, if you do wrong, they'll tie a laser printer around your feet and put you in the river.
Well, but so, like here's my thing. Like the union, I don't know. When you hear the stories about unions protecting workers who clearly are not performing well,
The problem is
just because they're part of a union,
here's the problem.
you know.
The problem is they're like public defenders. They don't get to pick and choose who they represent and who they apply the protections to. They have to
Okay.
apply it to everybody, regardless of the perceived merit of it.
Okay.
Okay? Just like a public defender has to defend his client regardless of how guilty he knows in his heart he is.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, because trust me, I wrestle with that all the time. I wrestle with it all the time going, man, it just doesn't make any sense because you know this person, you know, why are they fighting so hard for this person or that person when it doesn't seem like they deserve it? And the fact is, you can't pick and choose where it applies. It either has to apply or not apply.
That's fair.
No different
That's
than, you know,
good
freedom
point.
of speech, etc. So, you know. But yeah, no, I mean it's interesting. I thought it was really interesting that the vote did go that way with Amazon. Now, of course, you got people on different sides saying, well, it was intimidation, so that's why it ended up that way, or no, it really was education about, you know, Amazon educating people about why they don't need a union, or, you know, you've got people saying, hey, even though it was a loss, it was a win for unions because it showed the importance of them still. And I'm like, I am not going to read one way or the other for this, you know, although, because you get people from all sides of Amazon. You get ex-employees that say Amazon's the worst place in the world to work for. You get other people that say Amazon's the best place in the world to work for. I think just like anywhere, it really depends what area of the company you work for and who you work with. You know?
Yes, I would agree with that.
No matter what your job is, you've got somewhere in that department where it sucks to work there. And you've got somewhere else where it's great. And you just got to hope that you end up in a place that's either in between or great and not the place that it sucks. You know, because it's hell going to a place you don't like every day. You know, but yeah, it's just it's tough. So
I have somewhat of a topic here that I want to talk about, but I kind of don't want to talk about. And the only reason I want to bring it up is because you guys are smarter than me. So maybe you can explain it to me.
Okay.
So there was big news today that the CDC is recommending a pause on the use of the J&J vaccines.
Oh, they're more.
And a lot of states, New Jersey actually said, we are pausing.
I thought they more
New York
than
said it.
recommended it.
Yeah, I think that was at the federal level.
I know they were meeting, and I think they said they weren't making any firm recommendation at this time. They're going to try and gather more data. And for those who aren't following along, this isn't I'm not going down this road to debate whether or not vaccines are needed or what your opinion of vaccines are. It's got nothing to do with that part, because people are firmly in one camp or the other when it comes to vaccines. I know this.
Yes.
My question is, and I'm going to try, I got to find the exact stats here. So when you look at the data from the CDC.
Okay. Are you talking about
I'm talking about, the 6 cases for J&J of blood clots, which is categorized as thrombosis or DVT.
Right.
When you look at the CDC data as far as adverse effects. J&J, this is per 100,000 cases, per 100,000 injections or doses. J&J has an occurrence of 0.087%. No, this is
just the occurrence. Okay.
This is actually a case.
Okay.
So Moderna is 0.088.
Right.
And Pfizer is 0.102.
I think it has to do
with the incidence is higher with both of the other vaccines for the same
for the same condition. Okay.
For the same condition. But J&J is the only one that's being paused right now. So I would like to know why.
Is it because of the proximity to the inoculation that the condition occurred, and that's why? I'm guessing here. I'm not stating a fact. The only thing that I can say, just to give some concept or some context for people who may not know the details. So, federal health authorities recommended a pause Tuesday while they investigate a potential link between vaccine and very rare blood clots. 6 women between the ages of 18 and 48 developed clots after receiving the vaccine. 1 person died and another is in critical condition. According to the FDA, Dr. Fauci reiterated Wednesday that the move was out of an abundance of caution. Don't worry very much. It's a very, very rare event, he said to people who have gotten the vaccine. He added that symptoms have occurred within 6 to 13 days, so those who have gotten theirs weeks ago can mostly rest easy. He said to watch, if you are concerned, watch out for symptoms like abdominal pain, shortness of breath. And he said that, he anticipates the pause to last days or weeks, but not months. Now, as Mike just said, the occurrence within 100,000, 0.008, So it's a very low occurrence. And when we look at this, we have to look at this in the context of everybody that's being inoculated, right? So it's a very, very low occurrence of it, of anything like this happening. And how many people were going to develop these clots regardless of getting inoculated? Just like any other side effects, you can't draw a direct cause effect.
Do you know how many? You know how many cases of thrombosis and DVT were recorded last year from people being on birth control pills?
Probably 0.1 per 100,000.
Well, it was 20,000 cases.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't forget, they're not citing a percentage. They're not citing the number per 100,000. They're citing there were 6 cases.
Yeah, in
out
the
of
country.
7 million doses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's already stopped once over in Europe for the same thing. And they look at it and they're like, okay, well, the chances of having these blood clots without the vaccination and the chances of having it with the vaccination are approximately equal.
Yeah, it's.
And so I'm just looking at this going, Mike, your original point is still not really, solved to me. Why did they do this? I don't understand. Since the numbers match already, and they already looked at these numbers, what was the point?
Yeah, I mean, the conspiracy theorist says, whoa, maybe there's something more that we don't know.
Well, the leading conspiracies, and I don't like to.
I hate conspiracy
Go down
theories, but I
don't like going down this path, but I'm trying to figure out why. So there's an article that the National Institute of Health apparently owns owns patents that were used to make the Moderna vaccine. Supposedly Fauci's name is actually on some of those patents, and supposedly the CDC director is on the board of Pfizer. So these are some things that people are bringing to light. I haven't had time to research them to find out if they're true or not, but these are things people are pointing at when they look at the conspiracy theory.
Well, I mean, I think we've probably actually got the real answer, which is that these were improperly held, and too close to a magnetic a device which emitted magnetic radiation. And so the nanites within the vaccine doses were rendered disabled.
Of course.
And we obviously know that the government wants to be able to inject you with properly working nanites. So we had
They're chipping us all, dude.
They had to get rid of this batch and get a new batch in. Because see, the issue is the radiation turned off the 5G, Mike. It could only talk on 4G. And as we all know, nanites work best on 5G.
With Bluetooth.
Yes. Well, Bluetooth makes everything better.
Of course.
The 5G Bluetooth-enabled nanites, that's the issue.
Well, so the issue is not... Okay, so if you're looking at just stats for blood clots, then you're going to see... That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at it's the location of these blood clots. The blood clots themselves happened in places where blood clots usually don't happen. And all the cases, it's in the same weird place where blood clots aren't supposed to be happening at. So that is the cluster that they're looking at here. It isn't just blood clots, because those just happen, but it's these specific ones in a very specific spot. So we'll see. But I also saw, I think it was, I forget where I saw it. I think it was like Europe. They're not going to renew the contracts once they're done for anything other than the Moderna and the Pfizer. I think everybody is really looking at the mRNA vaccination technology and saying, this is the future. And we really need to get on board and push as much as possible on the mRNA technology because that's showing us, a great future. If we can get mRNA fully working, for everything, then that really just is a huge change in being human.
So
you're saying it alters your DNA?
Yeah,
it changes humans.
Yeah.
Okay.
The alien
I'm
DNA.
just making sure.
The alien DNA is what makes the RNA work.
The fundamental thing is that the Johnson & Johnson one probably works fine, okay? But they can't use it as a booster because the body is already going to notice it and kill it immediately. And if there's any variants, you can't modify the Johnson & Johnson one and give it to you again and get the variant. It just doesn't work that way.
See, because the
lizard
lizard
one over and over again.
Because the lizard DNA in the Johnson & Johnson we already have.
Well, I mean, here's the one thing that I did find out today when I was reading through some stuff. Technically, so the way the J&J vaccine works, which actually is the same as the AstraZeneca vaccine, they're both adenovirus vaccine.
Yes.
And basically, there's like two other steps. And then step 3 of how, like when you outline how those work, step 3 is the body creates an mRNA like process, or basically, what the way it was explained was Pfizer and Moderna basically skipped to step 3 of the J&J AstraZeneca process before it's injected. That's how. Okay. Now, and again, I got my first shot of Moderna last week. Due for my second one May 5th. Look, everybody's all like, oh, there might be side effects. There may be side effects. Yeah, well, one of the side effects I'm not going to have is death. And yeah, there's no guarantee that I'm going to die, but look, I'm not.
Yeah.
We've talked about getting the vaccine. I'm no hypocrite. I vaped. I'm sure I did some kind of damage. I probably got a tail growing as we speak.
Yeah.
I don't care. But
and besides that,
I'm never gonna criticize someone. If I was anti-vaccine, I am never gonna criticize someone for making their choice. If they did the research and they could explain to me why not using a thing that the government told me. If that's not that, no. If you can explain to me why you want to get the vaccine, I will respect that. If you can explain to me why you don't, I can respect that. All I ask is respect and return. That's point blank and period.
So to get off this topic, now a while ago, probably over a month ago, or maybe even 2 months ago, we were talking about what the next great shortage was going to be. Because when this all started,
right,
it was toilet paper. Right?
Yes.
It was toilet paper. It was yeast. It was
I thought
rice.
It was going to be some kind of produce.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be...
There was building materials.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yep. So, but it turns out we were all wrong. All right. Turns out it's ketchup.
Not ketchup packets.
Yeah, ketchup packets in particular. There is a ketchup shortage which is affecting restaurants around the country.
Now,
and the reason why will shock you, and we'll tell you that right after these messages. No, see, that's what the news would do. We're not the news, though. So,
or a game show.
Yeah.
No. So it is specifically a single serve packet of ketchup. Though that's what's in. It's not that if you go to the grocery store, you're not going to be able to get a bottle of ketchup.
Right. You know, the kind that you have in your packet drawer in your kitchen, because everybody has a packet drawer. You know, it's usually next to the soy sauce or, you know, the honey. It's that drawer. Everybody has one. So, yeah, since the start of COVID-19, the price for individual ketchup packets has increased by 13%. I should have invested in big ketchup. All right?
Invested in big maters.
So restaurants have been trying to stock up on the packets since the CDC recommended avoid using or sharing items that are reusable, such as menus, condiments, and other food containers. That, combined with many eateries reverting to takeout only orders where packets would be included, has resulted in shortage at chains like Long John Silver's. Oh my God, somebody still eats there, and Texas Roadhouse. To combat the shortage, Heinz, which is America's most widely used ketchup brand, plans to increase single-serving production by 25% to over 12 billion packets a year.
Oh, my God.
In the meantime, restaurants have been left to scramble for other generic ketchup brands. The problem is the same factories put out, you know, Heinz ketchup put out those ketchups too. It's just knockoff ketchup.
Well, you got Hunt's.
Yep.
And you got Del Monte.
And then you got just Catsup, which is just watered down ketchup.
The one thing that I've noticed is some of the restaurants actually, to combat this, they are, you know, the little plastic like
the
Tupperware
Tabasco
cups
sauce?
that you could get.
Oh, no, okay.
No, that you could get like
yeah, like
like
the tartar
salad
sauce
dressing or
containers and those,
yeah. So they've been putting ketchup and whatever sauces into those.
Yeah.
And just giving them to people with their meals instead of having bottles of ketchup on the table. That, which works all well and good if you're in a sit-down restaurant. I think, you know, that makes sense. It's probably taking up valuable refrigerator space.
Yeah, see, at McDonald's, that would work because we could just use our ketchup and mustard guns in those little cups.
Yeah, but, at McDonald's, the one by us at least, when it was dine-in, they had the pump with the little paper cups.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So will they still have that?
I don't think so, because you got hand-to-hand contact on the pump handle. And you got all those little cups that have the potential to spread disease. Yeah. You know?
That's why there was a shortage in the first place, because they didn't want to use the pump, so they started giving packets to everybody.
Hell, they took napkins out of the McDonald's around here. They just put them in the bag for you. They took out napkins. They took out straws. You can't get your own drinks. You know, nothing. They're taped and cellophaned off. So all these restaurants that basically went to like self-serve drink stations are now screwed because they've got like one little drink station for the drive-through customers that's now having to serve all the drinks.
Yeah. You know, I didn't even think about it. Like the Burger King by us, all the Burger Kings have those freestyle machines. Those are just giant paperweights right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I went to a Burger King the other day, and the whole like countertop, which normally has all the crap there, and the little self-serving machiney thingy, you know, is just taped off with painter's tape. It goes, sorry.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, now that you mention it, I'm thinking back when I went up to Maine in October, and this was kind of at the beginning of the no, not the beginning, but we were like midway through the lockdowns. The rest areas up there, when you ordered, all the self-serve drink stations and all were roped off. Now that you mention it, I didn't even think about that.
When I was getting my Darth Vader mask today, some lady had her mug. She was trying to get water out of a water fountain, and of course that doesn't work. It was all taped over. She called a guard over and said, "How am I supposed to get water?" He goes, "You can't. Sorry."
Yeah, that's a little. And even at the rink during my hockey season, they had the water fountain shut off, so we had to fill up the bottles from the sink in the locker rooms. But the problem here is that the water fountains were chilled and filtered.
Yeah, yeah,
so
but
the
the
water
problem
coming
is
out of the sink.
You get them people that suck on the top,
Yeah.
that don't know how to drink properly.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
and everybody touching the push bar or the button who don't bother to wash their nasty hands.
Nasty.
Nasty. Nasty.
You nasty. Speaking of nasty, California may have a new governor soon.
I don't know that I'd call him nasty. Different. So Mike, you
apparently
talk about
you
this.
don't watch the Masked Singer, then, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Then you understand where the nastiness comes from. So I have my big question with this. So Governor Newsom out there, Gavin Newsom in California, apparently has been under a lot of fire for decisions made during the pandemic regarding lockdowns and what have you. I mean, we talked about the one where the restaurant outdoor dining got shut down. Meanwhile, right across the parking lot, they had the huge craft services tent set up for a movie shoot, and because the movie was deemed essential, So we've talked about a lot of mishandlings and a lot of disagreements.
I tell you, no governor has an easy time right now. This last year and a half would not want to be a governor of a state or a mayor of a town or none of that. Being in politics right now sucks. So go ahead.
So the rumor came out that since Governor Newsom is likely to face a potential recall vote in November, that people are going to be running to try, running for the governor's office, and Caitlyn Jenner is looking to possibly run for governor. Now, my general feeling about this, my general question about this is, was a career in politics ever part of or ever in the cards for Caitlyn when Caitlyn was Bruce? And the reason I am asking this is there is a lot of attention on trans rights right now. There's a lot of focus on that. So is this more of a publicity or taking advantage of a situation than having a true desire to be in politics?
Well, it's kind of interesting because, all right, so Jenner was and maybe is, we don't know yet, a Republican before everything. But Axios reports Republicans supporting Jenner is being helped by a GOP fundraiser. But that's in my mind, and I have limited, scope in politics. So don't take this the wrong way. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I did not think that that Republicans and trans rights necessarily went together.
No, they don't. But if that's
because Caitlyn Jenner removed her support from Trump because of his stance on trans rights when he was on the campaign trail to become president. Again, I guess this is in the second term.
Well,
but I don't. I don't know that. I'm trying to figure out if she'd run as a Republican or a Democrat. Is what I'm trying to get at here.
I think, if I remember correctly, last I heard, her politics are still pretty Republican. So it'd be very difficult for her to run as a Democrat. Although Trump was a Democrat and ran as a Republican, so
that's what kills me. I saw an article the other day about Trump, repledging his commitment to the Republican Party, and I'm like, but wait a second. When Hillary was running, the first time Hillary tried to run, you attended a bunch of her fundraisers as a Democrat. So
here's the other question, though, right? Could this also be a part of a larger play by the Republican Party to try and divorce themselves from Trump and Trump's presidency. Because
Well.
let's face it, right, wrong, or indifferent, regardless of your beliefs, Trump was a very polarizing president,
Yes.
both to the nation and just talking within the Republican Party. There were those that stood behind him blindly, vehemently, supported him, backed him. No matter what he said, they came up with excuses. And then there were some that were like, yeah, we're just going to wait until he's gone.
Yeah. Right now you have two types of Republicans. One saying, let's still stay on the train. All right. And the other one saying, we've already gotten off the stop. The train needs to go to the train yard, and we need to find the next train, to hitch our wagon to. And
I just know enough. Like the whole reason I wanted to bring this up was, I see a lot of celebrities try, especially in California, try to make a run for office. We saw Schwarzenegger did it and actually won. But then we saw, Mary Carey, former porn star, try to run for governor and actually got on the ballot. We've seen celebrities do this before.
Well, here we go.
A lot of times they do it just to try and bring attention to themselves, not really being serious about being in politics. I never heard Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner speak about wanting a career in politics ever.
So here's an insider article. This is from 2018. 17 celebrities who became politicians. So obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger. Stacey Dash, who was known for her role in Clueless, was a Fox commentator and is now running for Congress in California's 44th district. That was in 2018.
She did not win.
Oh.
Yeah, she did not win.
Actor Cal Penn served on the Obama administration.
Yeah, as an advisor for one of the special councils or
White
special
House
committees. So
Office of Public Engagement. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's actually like politics or elected official. I'm talking like elections, but go ahead.
Cynthia Nixon, who was Miranda from Sex and the City, ran for governor against Cuomo in New York.
Well, and
she lost.
Barely even got, terribly.
I know, but at least she tried. Al Franken,
yeah,
he made it. For a while.
Yeah.
Linda McMahon, unsuccessful
She tried
for
to
Republican
run for
candidate.
Governor.
Fred Thompson, best known from Law and Order and the movie Feds, was a U.S. Senator for Tennessee from 94 to 2003, and a Republican presidential primary, losing to John Kane. Eastwood, elected mayor of Carmel, California.
Okay, yeah. And Jesse Ventura was governor.
Ronald Reagan was an actor before he was a politician. Shirley Temple ran an unsuccessful Congress, made an unsuccessful Congress run in 1967. Was the ambassador to Ghana in 74, and then Czechoslovakia in 89. Don't forget Jerry Springer was city council for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Sonny Bono was,
and he served as mayor in 77.
Right.
Jesse Ventura, yep. Manny Pacquiao is in the Philippines House of Representatives.
Oh, in the Philippines, okay.
Clay Aiken ran for Congress, didn't win. Haitian American hip hop star Wyclef Jean tried to run in the presidential elections in Haiti before being disqualified. Sonny Bono, mayor of Palm Springs. So it's not unheard of, for sure.
No, but most of them, you hear that they had political aspirations, or they started small. They started like, a mayor and then worked their way up or something.
Yeah.
You got to have some political experience. I mean, this, I feel, well, used to think that way, but like I said, never. Like
Well, she
they always
evidently
showed
has been
him
a
golfing. They always showed him, race cars. They showed everything but politics. And maybe now this is an effect of transitioning to Caitlyn. That yes, I see a need, and we need trans representation in government. Okay, fine, but
I guess
I don't know.
Caitlyn's been an outspoken critic of Newsom's handling of the pandemic. So I guess she has.
You and everybody else.
Well, I know, but I guess I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Run for it. What the hell?
You go for it. So we're just coming up on
Run.
the last
That's what
half
she
hour.
does.
I almost forgot. We need to discuss real quick Disney, right? Because I was at Disney this weekend.
Yes,
God, the
Colin-
one thing that we said we definitely want to talk about.
Colin had a special guest appearance at Disneyland for their grand reopening.
World.
Disney
Disneyland
World.
is still closed.
Right. Yeah. So,
in fact, he had to go to get
cut the ribbon.
He had to go to get his official invitation to be one of the first VIP attendees to Disney Planet.
Yeah.
When it opens up,
So
when Elon Musk gets anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Disney. I mean, the plane to and from, that was as scary as I thought it was going to be. Well, I'm fully vaccinated. It actually isn't scary, but yeah, people in the airports seem to not really be fully on board.
Didn't mean for that to play.
Yeah, they played that without any sound.
Okay.
I have no idea what the sound is on that. But Disney World itself felt extremely safe. Like the buses and the monorail, they had dividers up all over the place.
Monorail.
So that it feels like everybody has their own little cubicles on the buses and stuff. They ask how many people you have, and then they're all lettered. So like, how many do you have? Okay, you go sit in B. And you go sit in B, and you have like 2 seats, and you got plastic separators up. But when you're in line, and there was lines everywhere. There were lines to get into the stores. Like the main Disney store at Disney Springs, it's like an hour wait to get in the place. So we just didn't do that.
Well, I guess for social distancing purposes, yeah. I mean,
yes.
I guess.
But when we were in line, so they have these things on the floor. They're like 6 feet across from each other, and you just like are going from one to the next one to the next one. But there's this video here that Shaggy's going to stick up. This is somewhat surreal sight of people walking back and forth. There's not even any ropes up or anything. They're just snaking back and forth on this pavement, going between these 6-foot markers.
Wow.
So this is just to get this to get through the park, or is this to get to
This
a
is
ride?
to get on the Runaway Railroad ride, which is
the
newest ride there.
One of the nice things about everybody wearing a mask is you don't have to blur any faces.
Yeah, so everybody's pre-blurred.
So they don't have Fast Pass
Right.
working, do they?
No, Fast Pass is still going. So it's just you get in line. That is far, far, far out of the main line. That's why you're out to the middle of nowhere, going back and forth, zigzagging back and forth. That line for the ride, if I remember correctly, was 60 minutes at the time.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Which
60 minutes.
Yeah, for Disneyland, that wasn't too bad. But usually an hour wait, you'd be back into the main line. You would not be off in over. But it was kind of cool though, is because that line just kept moving. Since everybody was so far apart from each other, we didn't have to stand much. And that's always what kills you, is having to stand in place. So anyway, it almost everybody at Disney World breathed through their nose, not through their chin, and that was very good. Anybody who was a chin breather, there's lots of Disney people standing around who would tell them that they should start breathing through their nose instead.
I actually thought about doing like a qualitative little meme, like mask all the way over your nose, equals, and then just like me standing up, dressed regular, and then me with mask underneath my nose, me standing up with, saggy pants look with boxers showing, and then me with mask
You
around
just want
chin.
to show people your boxers.
Me
I know.
mask around chin with then, shorts around ankles. Because really, it's the same thing. So.
Yeah. So anyway, Disney felt very safe. I will say they're doing an extremely good job.
There we go. Disney is a safe space, so that's good.
And getting to Disney, going through the airports, that's a little risky.
That's sketchy, right?
But once you're actually there, you're golden.
So just get your own private plane next time.
Now, on the flight, was it completely booked, or did they have?
So on the way there, there was an empty spot between my dad and myself. On the way back, we were completely full.
Okay, so
And it was the most
There is
painful
no-
flight I've ever had in my life because going through the airport with my backpack, my neck issue, the nerve really got triggered and was really, really painful.
Yeah.
And then I got smashed into up against the side of, because I was on the window seat. And I was in so much pain. To the point that the flight attendant actually noticed halfway through the flight and came over, asked if I was okay. And when I said, she went, "Oh," so she went and she made me a ice pack.
Oh,
and brought it
that
to
was
me,
nice.
and I put it on, and that was so much better. But yeah, it was. Yeah, no, we're fully packed in.
that was one of the complaints about one of the guys on my hockey team actually had to fly down to Florida. His parents passed, or his mom wasn't doing well. She passed away. So he said, it's so stupid that they take all these precautions. The flight's completely full. So you're social distancing everywhere. Then you're in the tube. Got to wear your masks, but they're still serving snacks and drinks. So everyone's taking their masks off to drink. You're supposed to drop your mask, put a couple peanuts in your mouth, put your mask back up while you chew and swallow. I mean, he said it's the most ridiculous thing that you'd ever think of. And honestly, I don't know when I'm going to feel comfortable flying again. Once I'm vaccinated, yeah, maybe then, but it doesn't make any sense to me. It does not.
I see my youngest stepson asked if we would have the one of the grandkids' birthday parties over at the house in a few weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks, and we're like, okay, why? What's wrong with your house? And he goes, well, I want to have a bouncy house. My yard's not big enough for it. And we're like, how many people are you inviting?
Yeah,
he goes,
really?
I don't know, 20, 30. I'm like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, this. I'm like, your mother's just gonna go nuts. That's what it is. I'm like, she's just gonna go crazy. So I talked to her, and she goes, well, at least we'll be fully vaccinated by then, so I won't feel
but the kids won't be
as bad. Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, listen, we can do the most that we can do, to do what we do, and it'll be, at least it will be outside, but bunch of little kids running around. Hey,
sorry, Apple Juice. We were going to try, but I think we did. I think the thing said we were try. We didn't know. We had to extend Colin's stay because, like I said, he had to get his VIP pass to Disney Planet.
Yeah,
which is being built as part of Elon Musk's Space Colony Phase 1.
Just playing in 2 years when he gets invited to Disney Universe. You know. And, you know.
Okay.
When he gets
movies.
asked to the Disney multiverse, that's when we're in trouble. So
yes, to the craptastic
to the movies.
phenomenon.
To the movies we go. So every show, we are challenge ourselves to watch 2 movies. All right, these are movies that are suggested by the platforms. So it's Netflix, YouTube, Amazon Prime. Tubo, whatever. We decide to Fubo. Whatever platforms we decide to look at. And so we look for winners. We look for those streaming diamonds in the rough, if you will. So sometimes we find them. Sometimes we find just a bunch of coal. It just really depends. So this week, the 2 contenders were Moose the Movie. And what was the name of the other one, Mike? I forget.
Spy Intervention.
Spy Intervention. That's right. So I think so, Mike, which one do you want to handle first?
Let's do Moose.
Moose the Movie. All right. And Colin, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. And we will. What the hell happened? Okay. And we'll go to Colin first.
Okay. Moose the Movie. Pretty much standard plot. Many centuries ago, a demon is trapped by, let's say, a shaman. And in modern times, stupid people destroy the thing that kept the demon from coming back. And the demon comes back and starts killing people. And, things happen. And in the end, they have to try to do something to get rid of the demon. In this case, it's a bipedal moose. Thus, Moose the Movie. It kind of runs as this was made in Alaska, by Alaskans, for Alaskans. It would be very difficult to tell the difference between Alaskan and Canadian, but they're very adamant, I think, on the Alaskan part. Yeah, it kind of runs as like a loose set of skits. At one point, you have people being ripped apart by this moose and blood and limbs being thrown around. And the next scene, you have a diner where the person running the diner communicates to the world with puppets. And so one puppet is the waiter, another puppet is doing the cooking, and that same puppet later is the coroner. Yeah, it's a very weird movie. I don't think it is as funny as because it's supposed to be a comedy, and it violates one of our rules because we thought it kept the rules of showing up with lots of trivia on IMDb, but we missed the fact that it violates one of our rules and that it was a Kickstarter. So, boo on us for missing that it was a Kickstarter. Apparently, it was came out of a comic strip. That's a syndicated comic strip, and the creator of the comic strip came up with this as a movie idea. I wish he had it. So now I'm going to give this one a sneeze.
All right. Sneeze. Okay. Mike, you want to go next?
Sure, why not?
All right.
My expectations went from low to zero when I saw the opening tag that the film has been formatted to fit its low budget. It's a good thing, though, because lower expectations means higher chance of being amazed. The whole premise of this movie is because some Mo in the woods finds an ancient totem and burns it as firewood while they're camping. Carved log with antlers. If I found that, my first thought wouldn't be like, yo, you think this will burn? My first thought would be like, yo, how much you think Antiques Roadshow will give me for this? Puppet waiter with a puppet chef. I'm going to skip the next part here. There's a little puffy dog. Little puppy dog gets eaten by the moose. Was not happy. And then another puppet shows up. And then the guy's in the hospital. Canadian mail order bride who is short because of shipping? What? A mug of chili. Would you like a mug? Would you like some chili? A mug of chili from a coffee pot. Bruh. So then they have the town meeting scene. And let me be clear about something. The only thing that kept me watching were the two main characters. This is kind of like the Velocipaster, where the chemistry between the two main characters makes this movie bearable. And finally, I have the whole reason for this movie figured out. There are 98 credited actors. 98 credited actors in this movie. There are not that many credited actors in many Hollywood blockbusters. There are credited roles with speaking parts. Credited roles. There are about 98 credited roles in The Hobbit, for God's sakes. The whole idea of this movie was a Kickstarter to get the entire population of Alaska SAG cards so they could get health insurance. That was the purpose of this movie. I figured you out. So, Puke to Schnikes, this is getting a very generous smirk. Why? Because the movie made zero qualms about what it was. It was bad. It knew it. It ran with it. It made fun of itself. Fine. Right from the get-go, they admitted it were low budget. It was never trying to be more than a low-budget film. And the sound work actually impressed me. This sound actually was better than some of the movies we've previously reviewed. This sounded like it was actually a legitimate Hollywood movie with the sound, the audio. So, generous smirk from me. Velocipaster Jr. That's what I'm going to call this one.
All right. So I'm going to run down. I didn't do a formal review, but I did take some notes up until a point, and then I just gave up because I couldn't keep typing as fast as I was watching the movie. All right. So Moose movie notes. Love the disclaimer at the beginning, as Mike said, adjusted to meet its poor budget. Starts out like some Disney movie with all the animation, with all the little, picture stuff. What season isn't it the start of in this town? Really, it's bat season, it's moth season. What other seasons? Smartest town choice of mayor I've ever seen. Chicken. Perfect. Love it. Every town should do that. If that specific thing is code 42, what the heck is code 41? What comes before that? I guess nighttime in this movie means let's just turn everything purple. The thing that pissed me off about this movie the most was the amount of purple. All right. I actually started to think my monitor was going out. It was purple so much. All right. I've never wanted a moose man to kill hippies more in my life than this tie-dye guitar player bonfire scene. And that is not something I say often or enough. But I really wanted the moose man to come in sooner. Such caring and compassionate ambulance people. Did you guys watch when they were getting the guy in the gurney and they did the 1, 2, 3 throw into the back of the truck? That was beauteous. All right. I can agree. Pain meds do work better with alcohol. Fact. And the last one, until I stopped, Canadian mail order bride that doesn't speak English. Love it. Great. Now, non-notes. There were 4 people that paid $2,500 apiece to have their name listed as an associate producer. That was the highest reward that they got. They had other listings. For example, we could have paid $5,500 and been listed both on the starting and ending credits as an actual producer. We could have paid $10,000 and we would have gotten everything from the previous ones, including the director visiting a school of our choice to give a lesson on cartooning. We could have been flown up to Alaska where we could stay in the director's mother-in-law's apartment studio, where we could see all the scenes from Moose. We would have been a special guest at a Moose cast and crew party. We would have gotten to go fishing and a wildlife glacier tour in Prince William Sound. And the only thing he asked is no weirdos, because his wife wouldn't like him very much.
No weirdos. Okay.
For $10,000. What a bargain. So, other than being purple all the time in this movie, which just, as you can tell, it just irritated me. All right. The movie, like Mike said, set its expectations, met its expectations, and had some funny parts. I was just waiting for when the 2 main characters got busy. And they never did. They gave us warnings about drug use, about profanity, about all this other stuff. We never got a warning about nudity, semi-nudity, or sexual content. And I guess they delivered on that too. We didn't get any of it. It would have gotten a higher mark had it done that. So I'm going to have to give it the same as Mike, and I'm going to have to give this a smirk. All right. Colin, are you up for spy intervention?
Sure.
All right. Go for it.
Spy intervention. So there are certain types of dramatic productions that I like. Okay, so for example, I like things that have like a dry delivery to it. Okay, there was a TV show called The Middleman, for example. Pushing Daisies. Some of those quirky, weird shows where dialogue comes a little more, flat, and I like that kind of thing. And this started with that kind of delivery, so I was actually getting a little bit, I thought, oh, this might be good, and it turned out very quickly. Maybe they were trying to go for that, but they were very unsuccessful. So Spy Intervention is kind of a ripoff of the basic storyline of True Lies. So you have a guy who is a secret agent and runs into a woman in the mall and gives up so in this case, he actually gives up being a spy, but his buddies back in the spy business can tell that he needs an intervention. He's not happy with his new life, and so they get him back into doing a spy thing again. So his wife thinks he's cheating on her, and basically the whole True Lies thing there in miniature happen. Yeah, the problem with this movie is that a lot of the actors are just terrible. You kind of like wanted the movie to be written with a different, slightly different script. Like, get the husband and wife back together again faster, because the other woman that he was possibly having an affair with, I just found that very flat and just uninteresting. Yeah. I said I think I dislike this movie so much because I usually like this style of movie. So I want it to be much better than it was. So it is going to be actually it's going to be worse than that. I think I'm going to make this one a verb.
Okay. All right, Mike, you're up.
Let me start this one off by saying that I am very angry that the unrated version of this was not available for free on Amazon. Now listen to me. As the show's self-proclaimed authority on anything ice skating, you can trust that this is the truth I'm making up here. No one can do a double axel in hockey skates. That's exactly what he did. Doesn't happen. Quote unquote, I don't have a gag reflex. That is an opening line on Tinder, not in real life in a movie trying to pick up a sugar daddy. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I've never been in a position to be a sugar daddy. These are containers that move the treasures of our lives. Holy hell, is that a reach trying to get excited about cardboard boxes? It gets bad when I start quoting times of the movie, right? Runtime. I'm 20 minutes in, and I'm wondering where this movie is going. Because this is starting to feel like a bad episode of Mike and Molly if it was a drama starring skinny people. Absolutely the worst special effects helicopter ever. I mean, I was half expecting to see Steven St. Peter as the special effects director at the end of this movie in the credits. 40 minutes in, these two main characters are truly annoying the ever-loving piss out of me. 52 minutes in, we have the dancing at dinner scene. And I want to know how this bad guy, does not recognize this other spy who spent half his career trying to chase him. An hour 10 in, we get more dancing. Suddenly you guys tried to sneak a bad musical under my nose here. And why are most of the people dancing at this party doing the robot? Okay, look, Putis Nike, this gets a verb. Okay? The story sucks. The actors are terrible. They have no chemistry. And the special effects are worse than Moose.
Okay. So now
I gotta say, I was slightly distracted, and I looked back and I thought, is that guy supposed to have been miniaturized and he's in a toy helicopter?
No, and let me just explain. The only reason this didn't get a puke is because the spy friend who was in the toy helicopter, who is 1/3 of the crew that's part of the Workaholics cast that has been in basically every movie on our list that we've reviewed that had a penis showing.
Yeah.
The only reason it didn't get a puke is because the other two guys from that trio did not show up in this movie.
All right, my turn, I guess. All right, Spy Intervention, available on Amazon Prime. I didn't watch it. All right, and that concludes our movie review for tonight.
Alrighty.
I ran out of time. I was gonna watch it today, and then I had to go get my Darth Vader mask, and then I came back to just a complete S storm going on, and I did not have time. So
We have an actual rating for that.
did not finish or did not attempt.
Let's say DNW, did not watch. All right.
Yeah.
So our candidates for next one to 34, my friend.
1 to 34. Sorry about that. I meant to, but it just ran out of time.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm genuinely glad that I watched Moose though. You know.
Remember?
Oh yeah, definitely of the two, that is the one worth seeing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will watch it and I'll give my opinion on the next show. Don't worry. I will make it up.
Okay. Before, actually, I'm sorry. It's 1 to 33, but before we pick, I believe there was a new release on Netflix that we said when it came out we were going to watch, and that was Thunder something.
Oh, it's the Melissa McCarthy Thunder Force?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is it that superhero one?
Yes.
Thunder Force.
So much bad stuff about that.
It did come out today, didn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
if it's a Netflix movie and there's so much bad stuff about it, that fits right. That's in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I mean-
I totally get you. It
All right,
definitely.
so
It's even got Jason Bateman in it.
okay.
No? Yeah.
All right, so what do you say? Yes, or we want to force this one?
Yeah, I want to force
Yeah,
Thunder
that's fair.
Force.
Okay, let's get this one over with. All right. I might even be able to convince Kim to watch it with me since it's Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. Did
all
you see
right,
that she's doing a new show with Ina Garten?
Please don't.
They're drinking pals.
Ina Garten. Isn't that
Barefoot
Contessa?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's not showing up, though, so it's okay.
Don't care.
It's like
all right,
Stedman.
8. 1 to 33.
8.
Stedman.
Yeah.
Stedman?
Stedman.
Where is Stedman? Stedman. Where is Stedman? No. What? 8, you said?
He's with Jeffrey. Yeah. 8.
Well,
That's
Ocho.
Bernie Mac.
A Bernie Mac movie. We haven't watched a Bernie Mac movie
Nope.
in forever.
and I'm afraid, unless we can find it somewhere else, it is unavailable
Okay.
on Netflix. This was
Not
Guess Who.
surprising.
This is not. Not only is it's Bernie Mac, Ashton Kutcher, and Zoe Saldana,
Saldana.
among others.
All right.
So-
About number 5.
Oh
The
God.
Perfect Date. Rom-com.
Number 5 is not available either.
Oh.
Sorry, Shag. That's Wally Got Wasted on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Oh,
How
that's
about
number 4? Yeah.
how about number 11?
Replicate.
That one is available. Allie Landry. Wow, wow. Okay, a scientist and his sidekick accidentally clone a journalist and decide to turn the mistake into replicate their idea of the. This is a bad, weird science ripoff. I can tell you this right now. You had this. You quoted this as sci-fi comedy. No, you might as well call this dollar store weird science.
Huh. Okay.
Fine. That's okay.
Okay. Is it like Kata?
Yes.
Repli dash Kate.
Okay. 2002.
And it's on Prime.
All right. Gotcha. The scientist and his sidekick accidentally clone a journalist and decide to turn the mistake into replicate their idea of a perfect woman who loves beer, football, and frat parties. Hey, yeah, it's right up my alley. All right. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm in for that one. I'm just looking at the screen grabs, and I'm in for that one. So, all right.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like we got our movies for the next show. And the next show, folks, will be on the 26th. So we will be back onto our Monday night shows. So it'll be the 26th that we're back. So don't forget to tune in and tell all your friends. Set your alarms. Post it on your Facebooks.
Yeah, watch the Facebook page. That's the best time to you should be hooked up on Facebook to be notified when we go live. Like it should pop up on your phone. You be at dinner with your mom. Be
Yeah,
like, yo, oh, PTR is live. Let's watch let's watch during the dessert course.
Yeah, not only that, but if you're subscribed to us on the YouTubes, ring the bell, ring the little bell.
Yeah.
That'll notify you when we're on live. So or Twitch. Keep up with us on Twitch, because you never know. We may just do a Twitch only thing if we decide that we're going to become big gamers and we're going to be the next ninjas.
Yeah,
you never know.
Apple Juice. We were talking about we might start doing a PTR racing league.
Yeah,
on Twitch if you in. I don't know.
Tweet.
Maybe we don't know.
I don't know. Do they call that tweeting? I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So we might start doing that. I mean, Mike's gonna like color his hair and poof it all up, and Colin's gonna get a Red Bull sponsorship, and I'll start drinking balls or something. Whatever. Whatever. We'll just do Doritos. We'll do Doritos everywhere.
Yeah. I
gotta
be
get a
the
sponsorship.
spokesperson for the new decaf Red Bull.
Decaf Red Bull. It's a new thing. We're bringing back Jolt. Jolt Zero. It's zero caffeine, zero sugar. All the bad Coke taste.
Yes. I didn't even think about that from Think Geek. Yes. Okay. It didn't make. Now it makes sense.
Yes. So. But no, don't forget. Do please, ring the bell on YouTube, subscribe on everywhere else, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff, and play along at home. That's all we ask that you do. So, with that said, like I said, in 2 weeks, back on the 26th, I believe I said. Yeah, 26th, we'll be back at our regular time, regular day. But until then, everybody just be good. Just do what you're supposed to. Just be good. All right. So with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.